In the bustling heart of Washington, D.C., within the sterile walls of the National Institute of Health, a seismic event was about to unfold. Dr. Amelia Carter, a dedicated surgeon with a penchant for pushing the boundaries of medical science, had no inkling that her world was about to change forever. It began on an ordinary Tuesday evening. The sun had dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of indigo and amber. Amelia, still clad in her surgical scrubs, sat in her dimly lit office, reviewing patient charts. The faint hum of the building's HVAC system was the only sound accompanying her solitude. Suddenly, her phone buzzed. A text message popped up from Dr. Greg Mallory, a colleague and astrophysicist she had met during an interdepartmental conference. "Amelia, need you to come to Observatory Point. Urgent." Amelia frowned. Greg wasn't one for dramatics. Intrigued and slightly annoyed, she grabbed her coat and left. Observatory Point was a secluded hilltop on the outskirts of the city, home to a modest research facility. When Amelia arrived, Greg met her at the gate, his face pale but eyes brimming with excitement. "You're not going to believe this," he said, ushering her inside without further explanation. In the facility's main room, a shimmering sphere of light hovered above a steel platform. It pulsed rhythmically, emitting a low hum that resonated in Amelia's chest. "What is it?" she asked, captivated. Greg hesitated. "We're not entirely sure. But it's alive. And intelligent." Before Amelia could respond, the sphere shifted, elongating and condensing until it formed a vaguely humanoid shape. A voice, melodic and layered, filled the room. "Greetings, beings of Earth. I am Trana, a representative of the Aeloran collective." Amelia's breath caught. An alien. Standing, or rather, existing, before her. Trana continued, "We have observed your species for centuries. Your resilience and ingenuity are remarkable, yet your medical advancements lag behind your potential. We wish to share our knowledge with you." Greg's face was a mixture of awe and skepticism. "Why now? And why us?" Trana's form flickered, as if considering the question. "Our philosophies prioritize the elevation of life. We believe your species is at a critical juncture. Our aid could propel you beyond this threshold." Amelia, still grappling with the surrealness of the moment, found her voice. "What kind of technology are we talking about?" Trana extended an appendage, and a holographic projection filled the room. It displayed intricate devices, techniques, and substances beyond human comprehension. Organ regeneration, instantaneous cellular repair, cures for diseases humanity hadn't even named, all laid bare before their eyes. Amelia's mind raced. This was revolutionary. But doubt lingered. "What's the catch?" Trana's form dimmed slightly, as though conveying somberness. "The exchange requires trust. Our technology must be used solely for healing and advancement, not for harm." Over the next several weeks, Amelia became the liaison between Trana and the U.S. medical community. The initial demonstrations of Aeloran technology left doctors and scientists in stunned disbelief. Diseases like cancer were eradicated in hours. Paralyzed patients walked again. Blind individuals regained their sight. But with each miracle came challenges. The ethical implications were enormous. Who would have access to this technology? Could governments resist weaponizing it? And how would society handle the ramifications of such profound advancements? Amelia often found herself at the center of these debates, advocating for responsible integration while fending off skeptics and power-hungry officials. She grew close to Trana, whose calm demeanor and wisdom became a source of guidance. One evening, as they observed a successful demonstration of organ regeneration, Amelia asked, "Why do you care about us? You're so far ahead of us. What do we have to offer?" Trana's form shimmered with what Amelia had come to recognize as amusement. "Every species has something unique. You, Dr. Carter, have a capacity for compassion and creativity that is rare even among advanced civilizations. It is inspiring. Despite the progress, tensions escalated. Nations vied for control over the technology. Conspiracy theories spread like wildfire. Protesters decried the alien presence, fearing it was a prelude to invasion. Amelia's breaking point came when an extremist group attempted to sabotage a hospital using Aeloran tech. Though the attempt failed, it reinforced her fears. She confronted Trana. Maybe humanity isn't ready for this, she admitted, her voice heavy with despair. Trana's response was firm. Readiness is subjective. Growth often comes from facing adversity. We cannot force evolution, but we can guide it. In the months that followed, Amelia spearheaded the creation of the International Medical Advancement Coalition, a neutral body tasked with overseeing the technology's use. She worked tirelessly, often at great personal cost, to ensure Trana's gift was a boon, not a burden. Her efforts bore fruit. Slowly, humanity began to unite, setting aside differences to embrace the possibilities of a healthier, brighter future. And through it all, Trana remained by her side, a constant reminder of what could be achieved when trust and collaboration triumphed over fear. As Amelia stood on the podium years later, addressing a global audience about the breakthroughs that had transformed the world, she glanced at Trana, now a beloved figure among humanity. We once believed the stars held all the answers, she said. But today, we know the greatest potential lies within ourselves. Amelia paused as the crowd's applause washed over her, a roaring wave of hope and unity. The world was unrecognizable from the one she had known on that fateful evening at Observatory Point. Disease and suffering, though not eradicated, were shadows of their former selves. Nations that once viewed each other with suspicion now collaborated in unprecedented ways, pooling resources and knowledge to ensure the responsible use of Aeloran technology. As the applause subsided, Trana stepped forward, their shimmering form a beacon of alien elegance. The world had grown to trust the Aeloran ambassador, seeing them as a partner rather than a threat. Trana's voice, melodic and resonant, filled the air. Your species has proven resilient not just in the face of adversity, but in the embrace of transformation. You have shown that compassion and ingenuity can outshine fear and discord. The Aeloran Collective commends you, Earth, for taking this step forward. Amelia turned to Trana, her heart swelling with gratitude and pride. She thought of the countless lives saved, the medical breakthroughs that once seemed like science fiction but were now a daily reality. Yet, she also knew the journey was far from over. Later that evening, as the celebration dwindled and the stars blanketed the night sky, Amelia and Trana stood on a balcony overlooking the city. The lights below twinkled like a mirror of the constellations above. I used to think progress was linear, Amelia admitted, her voice quiet. That we just needed the right tools or knowledge to fix everything. But it's so much more than that, isn't it? Trana's form pulsed softly, a gesture Amelia had come to recognize as contemplation. Progress is a tapestry, woven from countless threads of effort, understanding, and resilience. Tools are merely threads, the hands that wield them determine the pattern. Amelia smiled faintly. I wonder if we'll ever truly deserve the faith you've placed in us. Trana's gaze seemed to pierce through her doubt. Deserving is irrelevant. What matters is striving. Your species has shown it can rise above its limitations. That is enough. As they stood in silence, the faint hum of a ship filled the air. Amelia looked up to see an Aeloran vessel descending, its luminescent structure blending seamlessly with the stars. It was a reminder that the Aelorans were not the only beings watching humanity's progress. Will you ever leave? Amelia asked, the thought suddenly filling her with a pang of sorrow. Trana's form brightened, a gesture of reassurance. When our presence is no longer needed, we will depart. But the bond we have formed will endure. Amelia nodded, the weight of the world feeling both lighter and heavier at the same time. She knew that humanity's journey was just beginning. Challenges would come, and mistakes would be made. But for the first time, she felt confident that her species could meet them with courage and wisdom. As the vessel ascended into the night sky, Trana placed an appendage on her shoulder, a gesture of connection Amelia now recognized as profoundly Aeloran. You, Amelia Carter, embody the best of what your species can be. Never forget that. When the ship vanished into the stars, Amelia turned back to the city below. The world was healing. Humanity was healing. And though she couldn't predict what the future held, she was ready to face it. The stars no longer seemed so distant. They were within reach, not just physically but in spirit. For the first time in centuries, Earth looked to the cosmos not with fear but with hope. And Amelia, the unlikely bridge between species, knew deep in her heart that the universe had only just begun to reveal its wonders. Amelia stood in the glow of the city lights, her mind racing with thoughts of the future. The world had taken monumental steps forward, yet she couldn't shake the feeling that this was only the beginning. Months passed, and the integration of Aeloran technology continued to reshape human life. Space exploration surged as humanity, equipped with newfound medical advancements and technology, dared to venture farther into the cosmos. Diseases that once plagued the Earth became stories of the past, and even environmental degradation saw hope for reversal with Aeloran bioengineering techniques. Yet, as with any great leap, shadows lingered. One night, while reviewing proposals for expanded access to Aeloran technologies, Amelia received a message from Greg Mallory, the same colleague who had pulled her into this odyssey. Urgent. Come to Observatory Point. You need to see this. A chill ran down her spine. The last time Greg had sent such a message, her life had changed forever. Wasting no time, she made her way to the hilltop facility. When she arrived, Greg was waiting, his expression a mix of excitement and dread. What's going on? Amelia asked, stepping out of her car. Greg motioned her inside. In the main research room, a larger version of the shimmering sphere, the one that had introduced her to Trana, hovered ominously. The hum it emitted was deeper, more resonant, and seemed to vibrate through her bones. This just appeared, Greg said. It's not Trana, but it's definitely Aeloran. We've been analyzing it, and... Amelia, it's a warning. A warning? Amelia felt a sinking feeling in her chest. From the Aelorans? Greg shook his head. No. From something else. The sphere flickered, projecting a holographic scene that left Amelia breathless. Massive ships, darker than space itself, drifted toward an unidentified planet, their shadows engulfing entire continents. An unfamiliar species, insectoid and brutal, swarmed across the surface, dismantling cities and absorbing all signs of life. The devastation was methodical and unrelenting. Then, a voice filled the room. It wasn't melodic like Trana's but sharp and commanding. Earth has been noticed. Your advancements, though remarkable, have drawn the attention of forces beyond your comprehension. Prepare yourselves. The message ended abruptly, leaving silence in its wake. Amelia turned to Greg, her heart pounding. What does this mean? Who are they? Greg's voice was grim. We don't know. But the message is clear. The more advanced we become, the more visible we are to, whatever that was. The next day, Amelia brought the situation to Trana, whose usually calm demeanor seemed to ripple with unease. The Corvaran swarm, Trana said, their voice quieter than usual. A species driven by consumption and assimilation. They leave nothing in their wake. Amelia's throat tightened. Have they encountered the Aeloran collective before? They have, Trana admitted. Long ago, we drove them back, but at great cost. They are relentless and cunning. Their notice of Earth is troubling. Amelia felt the weight of the revelation crushed down on her. So what do we do? We can't just stop advancing. We can't go backward. No, Trana agreed. Nor should you. Advancement is the essence of existence. But you must prepare. In the months that followed, humanity shifted its focus. With Trana's guidance, Earth began developing defenses, technologies that could protect the planet while adhering to the Aeloran philosophy of non-aggression. Amelia, once a surgeon and healer, found herself at the forefront of an unprecedented effort, uniting a fractured world against an unseen threat. As preparations progressed, Amelia couldn't help but marvel at humanity's capacity for adaptation. The very qualities that had attracted the Aelorans, resilience, ingenuity, and compassion, were now being forged into a shield against the unknown. One evening, as she walked through the nearly completed Earth defense nexus, Trana appeared beside her. "Do you fear what lies ahead?" they asked. "Of course I do," Amelia admitted. "But I've also seen what we're capable of when we work together. If the Corvorans come, we'll be ready." Trana's form shimmered, a gesture of approval. "That is the spirit that inspired us to reach out to you. Whatever happens, know that the Aeloran Collective stands with you." Years later, as the first Corvoran scout ships appeared on the edge of the solar system, Earth was no longer the vulnerable planet it had once been. Armed with knowledge, technology, and unity, humanity faced the darkness with courage. Amelia, now a leader and symbol of Earth's resilience, stood on a command deck, gazing at the distant stars. Trana stood beside her, a steadfast ally in the face of the unknown. "The stars once felt like a mystery," Amelia murmured. "Now they feel like a promise." Trana's voice was steady. "A promise of what?" "That no matter what comes, we'll find a way forward. Together." As the Corvoran ships loomed ever closer, Amelia knew the coming battle would test humanity like never before. But she also knew this: the stars belonged to those brave enough to reach for them. And Earth was ready.